Before the 2019 season began, Dak Prescott came out publicly and he said, I want to make $40 million a year when the time is right. He said, I have one playoff win and I deserve $40 million a year. And I was sitting back listening to this and I was thinking, you want 40 what? You have one playoff win and you want to make $40 million a year? Are you crazy? But then there was another part of me that said, you know what? Maybe Prescott in this 2019 season can really impress everybody. Maybe he can put an MVP season together. Maybe he can take the Cowboys in a deep playoff run. Then maybe he will deserve $40 million. Well, here I am, several months later, talking about the same player and the same contract. And I will say this loud and clear. If the Cowboys pay Dak Prescott anything close to $40 million a year, that will be the greatest mistake in franchise history. Let's look at statistics. In 2019, Prescott threw for a 65.1 completion percentage. He threw for 4,900 yards, 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and a 99.7 passer rating. Those statistics are great. The best of his career by far. And yet, this team went 8-8. If this team went 8-8, wow, the roster must be horrible. Well, let's look at the roster. They have Amari Cooper, one of the best receivers in the game. They have Ezekiel Elliott, the best running back in the game. Randall Cobb, a very reliable deep threat receiver. Michael Gallup, a rising star. Tyron Smith, one of the best tackles in the league. A very, very, very good defense. And yet this team went 8-8. And by the way, I am so sick and tired of everybody saying that the coaching staff needs to take all the blame. No, they don't. Yes, the coaching staff was a huge part of the problem, but so was Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott was the leader of this team on the field, and he led this team to an 8-8 record and no playoffs. And yet he's asking for $40 million a year. Carson Wentz got $35 million a year because he led the Eagles to a Super Bowl. And although he didn't play in the playoffs, the Eagles would have never, ever won the Super Bowl if it wasn't for Carson Wentz. Patrick Mahomes is about to get $50 million a year because he just won MVP and a Super Bowl in 2 seasons. What has Dak Prescott done to say he wants $40 million a year? What is on Prescott's resume that allows him to even ask for that number? One playoff win? Some good stats? Let me make this loud and clear again. If the Cowboys pay Dak Prescott anything close to $40 million, in fact, anything above $32 million, if they pay Dak Prescott anything above $32 million, that will be the greatest mistake in Cowboys history. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the sound of sports.